Greetings, greetings, greetings. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome in, welcome in. I am your host, Chantel Sierta Shakim. Coming to you live on location. Welcome in, April. Welcome in to all those who will be joining me for this deep dive into the universal energy of today. I am your host, Chantel Sierta Shakim, your holistic self-care practitioner and soul guide, tapping in to see what Spirit has to say. As you all know, I am on this journey of 365 days of going live, tapping in and meeting people on the other side. So please comment, chat, let me know where you at, okay? I normally come on here and I pull tarot, I pull oracle cards, and I just see what Spirit has to say as a universal collective consciousness reading. So I also take time to take readings or questions from the audience if you so choose, or if you have some. So let's just dive on in, tap the screen, get the people in the room, because we are here and we remember. So I am tapping into this energy and seeing what comes through, starting with our tarot cards. Welcome in, welcome in. How are you this Tuesday afternoon or evening? As I said, I am tapping into the universal energy of today. Welcome in, Lindsay. How are you today? Where are you tapping in from? As our first card comes out, which is the Chariot. Welcome, Ren. Good to see you again, my friend. You came in right on time. We have our first card out being the Chariot, followed by the second card, the Lovers. This is where we are beginning to move in the direction in partnerships with those that support our visions and dreams. You know, this is all about you, right? This is all about me. This is all about our collective, our energy working in synchronicity to bring forth our visions and goals into this now reality. This is the energy that I carry. This is the energy that I work with. This is the energy that I channel as the Most High gives me the downloads every time I come in. So I'm just playing with my little girl and hopefully meeting some new friends. I see Ren in the house, always coming in and showing out. I appreciate the love. I see Dr. Yvette in the house. I see Valentine's in the house, Lindsay in the house, Kim in the house. Thank y'all all for showing up and coming to get this daily dose, okay? Because this is what I come through. This is what I come for every day. I come for the people, okay? I come for y'all. So please stick around and see what Spirit has to say. As we begin to see ourselves clearly, remember, what are you creating through your thoughts, through your actions, through your intentions? How do you view yourself? It is time to begin to see ourselves clearly and not settle for anything less. When we begin to get caught up in those situations that make us feel bound and tormented, it's time to take a new direction. Greetings, Kiki. Welcome in. We are moving into this new energy as the Chariot showed up. The Lovers showed up. The Seven of Wands showed up. And then I was on the Eight of Swords. So this is choosing how you navigate your friendships, your relationships, and knowing if they are supportive of your success, or do they keep you in this place of stagnation and stuckness. Okay, that's 4 cards. The next cards, we're gonna ask for 3 more. There was 2. Again, here we go. We following through. This card says, how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself stuck and stagnant and tormented? This card says, when blinded by the unknown, I choose to follow the brightest light. That is, where are you going? When things start to get a little shaky, baby, you realign. You say, oh, this isn't true. This is not what I expect. Where am I supposed to be going? And move in that direction as the wounded healer. You know, sometimes we got to get oops upside our head a couple of times. I ain't even gonna lie. Woo! They said, yeah, you know, oops upside your head a couple of times before you really truly begin to align. And that is where that wounded warrior energy comes through, as it came through yesterday as well. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the heart me's. Thank you for your time and energy as we are truly beginning to build on new foundations. New foundations, new way of seeing ourselves, new ways of moving in the energy of our I am, new ways of showing up unapologetically, no matter what it looks like, okay? Staying clear about where you're going and holding the light, because we're going to keep the light on for you. And we're going to be, oh, this is that card, 10 toes down. Don't wiggle it. Well, this is like 5 toes down. But yes, this is freedom. 5 toes down. 5 is my energy, y'all. And it's all about being free to be. Being free to enjoy. Being free to express. Being free to explore. Being free to navigate both your shadow and your light as you begin to find what's right. Whether it be in a romantic relationship, whether it be in a partnership for business, whether it be in the way you show up in your family, it is now time for you to embody the success of all that you are. We are moving out of this energy of the new moon in Gemini. And this is similar to this yin yang energy, right? It's like the light and the darkness. How you gonna play? Are you gonna continue to find yourself as a victim and scared to move in the direction you're being sent to? Understanding that every lesson, every trial and tribulation is a lesson that you can move into your blessing as long as you know where you are going, and that the foundation is strong because it's coming from your knowing. Okay? We give thanks for that. We give thanks for that deep dive into these messages. And the first card that they are asking me to dive deeper in for the audience is the card in the middle, right? So normally it's the 3 chakras at the high of your upper chakras and then your 3 in the bottom. And this is your heart space. This is what we're working with, right? What's in the middle? What is it? How is it that you are not loving on yourself? How is it that you are showing up telling this kind of story to yourself? And how do we move beyond it in order to live aligned and crowned, knowing that everything is always working for us? So I'm going to go to the 8 of Swords and read that specifically from the book because this one showed up. And it says very simply, and I hit on it, I am free to choose my healing and my light. I am free to choose my healing and my light. You can see it both ways. As we are in this Gemini energy, it is good to see both sides of the situation, to see yourself in the right now moment, whether it be as you truly are or as you imagine yourself to be. And then begin to harness the energy that truly sets you free. We give thanks. That is where we are. That is where we are moving in this energy. For those of you who are just popping in, welcome in, welcome in. I am Chantel Sierra Tashakim, your holistic self-care practitioner and soul guide. We have pulled 7 cards of tarot, starting with the Chariot, balancing our shadow and our light, understanding where we need to take a left or a right, but honestly being clear about where we are going. bringing in partnerships and relationships that serve your highest good, that are supporting you as those wands are there in your success. As you help others, they help you. And together we rise in accelerated harmony. That is all of this upper chakra energy. Then we get to the heart. And it's like, oh my God, where do I start? Do I start with the shadow, or do I start with what I truly believe for me? It's the next card out says it very clearly. When blinded by the unknown, move toward your brightest light. Move toward what makes you feel all right. And take a stand. As the wounded warrior, as the Nine of Wands shows up here. This is where you create whatever it is you desire, taking all of it and putting it to work and allowing that to be the foundational starting point. Okay, so we're going to read this one from the book as well, because it's very pivotal to moving us up into this self-regulated state where we're able to work with whatever shows up. And it is the Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands here is very, very important, because most of us have been through some stuff in life, right? We've stood at the fence, we've been knocked down, we've gotten up, we've shined the light for others, but have we truly begun to walk it like we talk it? Have we truly begun to see how everything that has happened in our life is put us in a position to be the leader, to be the guide, to be the light in the darkness? And it says, I push beyond my own perceived limitations, and I remain open and trusting as I do. I push beyond my own perceived limitations, and I remain open and trusting as I do. And this is where we will begin to build from this new foundation of everything we desire showing up to. It's like, yeah, I've been through some things. I done had some hard times, but I won't complain. If you know that song, I hear it in my mind, but I can't sing it, okay? But this is the Page of Pentacles. And it says, I can be practical and realistic and still run ahead and meet my dreams. I can be practical and realistic and still run ahead to meet my dreams. So we often get caught up in, oh, I see it and I want it now. That's me. I see it and I want it now. But how do I balance practicality? How do I balance practicality with my spirituality? How do I regulate my nervous system so that I'm not so anxious about, I want it now, I want it now, I see it, I see it, I see it, I want it. Because that's an energy that I carry often. But it's about doing the work, as we talked about yesterday. And give thanks. Coming into relationships and partnerships where you can truly begin to show up as your truth, authentic self, and then begin to have the support that you need from outside and within. And then you can begin to work with those shadows, because they're going to mirror it back to you. They're going to say, hey sis, I see this in you, and this ain't truly who you are. This ain't truly how you wish to show up. Or is this? Asking a question, because only you know. But having relationships around you, close relationships, people in your inner courts that really you trust and that you love to support you to what comes next, so that you can truly begin to move in the frequency of love, of joy, of bliss, of having all of your wishes and dreams come true. Because that's what we're here for. We're here to do the work of creating a new world, being practical, being spiritual, being truly who you are. We're going to go into the soul's journey and see what our soul would advise us at this time as we are moving out of this seeing our fears and illusions as what they are, seeing ourselves clearly so that we can move beyond, so that we can have everything that we desire, because it is here now. We are the ones that keep it in delay. Oh, that's what they say. We are the ones that keep it in delay. Everything has already been created and is available for us on one cycle of this life, right? One vibration, one frequency, one decision away will bring you into the reality of everything you've already seen for your life. You just have to hold the vision. You have to be patient in the process as these cards come out. Abundance is available. Abundance is here. We live in an abundant earth. We live in an abundant universe. We live in the abundance of our own beingness. We just have to work through the lack, the limitation, those old programs to begin to receive it. And this card says abundance. I am a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in this reality. What you say? Abundance. I am a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire into this reality. We're going to bring that in. The next card out was failure. Failure is not an option. Failure is not an option because abundance is here now. We just have to bring it into our manifestation. Everything has been created under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. I'm sure y'all have heard that. So that if there's nothing new under the sun, what does it take for us to get to the fun? All right? And failure is not an option. It says, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. As I was talking about earlier, when you find yourself in this space, you have to realign and move toward the brightest light. Move toward what was this here to teach us? What was this here for me to learn? And then understand that it does take discipline. In order for us to achieve the success, we have to be disciplined in not settling for less. Woo! Don't get complacent. Don't settle for less. Understand, discipline says, I can accomplish whatever I set my mind to. Woo! Look at that. I can accomplish whatever I set my mind to. This is where I just heard Reverend Knight, bless him. Work your mind so you don't have to work your behind. Work your mind. This is where that imagination comes in. This is where if you can see it, you can be it, you can do it. And it doesn't mean with these natural eyes. This one says, when blinded by the light, I can trust myself to move toward the brightest light. So what do you see for yourself? Not in this space of a reflection of being bound and stuck and unable to move forward, but what do you see for yourself in your highest light? In your highest relationship with yourself first, and then how does that inspire others? How does that attract more people into your life that support you as you navigate the shadow and the light of every experience? Knowing that failure is not an option, and like I said, failure is not an option. Abundance is all there is, and you have to be disciplined. This came up in a conversation that I had with someone last week. Discipline. Nobody wants to be disciplined. Nobody wants to stay committed to the game. Some people want to just say, if I don't win, I quit. But it's not a competition. That person who is triggering you, that person who is rubbing you the wrong way, but truly does love you, and you know they do, is here to teach you, to mirror you, to bring you into something new. But are you willing to be disciplined enough to stay the course for your growth? You can't make this up. We are all growing, okay? No one should stay the same. If you're the same person you've always been, you are in this kind of a loop. You are not moving in your brightest light. You have become comfortably uncomfortable. You have taken the role of the wounded warrior and said, this is who I am. I'm never going to change. It is what it is. No growth. We are here to grow. We are here to inspire others to grow. Even when we have to do the difficult things in love. Because the lovers showed up. They're like, yeah, it hurts sometimes. But it hurts when you don't change, when you're being stubborn, when you don't want to move, when you want to be right all the time, when you want to think that it's a competition. Your only competition is you. And you know when things don't feel good to you. So you got to let it go and be open. Allow your heart to be open to change. The change that other people are making, the change that you see yourself wanting but maybe are too scared or too lacking discipline to move into it. Understand the universe will always bring you what you need so that you can grow. Growth. It says, I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. Growth happens when we expand our consciousness and our awareness. And I want to bring forth the information of self-actualization. In this world, we have some people have been exposed to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And at the very top of that pyramid, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if you don't know, check it out, is self-actualization. In this place of self-actualization, it is where you see yourself as everyone. Bring that in. Self-actualization is where you see yourself in everyone. And they say most people don't ever make it to that point in life. However, since we are now in the age of Aquarius, most people have the frequency to rise into that. And it doesn't take you to get to the age 70, 80 or beyond. It is happening as young as from the womb to the tomb, honey. These young souls that are coming into this world now are very much self-actualized. They are coming in with their plan and purpose in hand. And they about the business. I know y'all seen them if y'all in this energy of elevation and activation and growth and expansion. So self-actualization is really about us seeing ourselves in each other and understanding that everyone is the student, the teacher, and the master. But it is up to you as the individual to see where you fit in the story. Where is this someplace I've been and I've overcome? Is this someplace I would like to go? Is this a current place for me to learn? And we utilize the energy and essence of individual souls and bodies to show us that. And when we can meet it in a vibration of love and not attack and not commit and not confrontation or judgment, but just in an open heart, like, yeah, let me see where I can restart this game because I want to win, and we all do. But we can't be in this conflict. We can't be in this competition. We have to truly begin to align in the same mission where we all win. And it doesn't mean that you're always going to agree. It's okay when people don't agree with you. Try and see their side of the story and then move in your own way from there. It's not about being right. It's about being in alignment. And once we begin to be in alignment, everything begins to move in ease, in flow, in frequency, in the frequency of love. So we're going to move into our ancestors and see what they have to say. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the shares, as that one just came out. We are in the goddess circle, right? This is the wheel within the wheel. You are reflecting everyone around you. Every person in the circle, the goddess circle, the God circle, is sent to support you in some way. How good can it get? And this says the wheel of change. Again, reminded of my book, The Wheel Within the Wheel. How are you aligning your chakras to that energy of all that moves you forward to the change? As I was saying, if you're the same as you've always been, it's time that you make a step to change in some way to make your life better, to help you grow, learn something else, be exposed to someone else's ideas and beliefs, and see what that sparks in you. Not to say that you have to truly believe it, but if it's in your vicinity, it's something for you. And this is a number 10 card. So this is where completions and endings begin. New moon energy, endings and beginnings. This is what we're moving into. Don't settle for just complacency. Don't settle for thinking you got it all figured out. Look for someone else to show you something different that aligns to where you want to go, what you want to be, what you want to have in this life. And it says, I am a winner, baby. And look, it's everybody. Like I said, everybody wins when people line up and you bring in the right friends, the right partnerships, the right reflections. Every single one of these goddesses are different. Different religions, different beliefs, different powers and energies, but they all are in the circle. And they all come together to behold one another, to teach one another, to help each other grow, glow, and flow. This is the universal energy. This is a portal that we all must enter into if, in fact, you want to grow. And this says the wheel of change. I am a winner, baby. The ancestral medicine says, one thing about the wheel of fortune, it keeps turning. For some of your ancestors, it was difficult to feel joy for the sake of joy. Heal their energy by celebrating yours now. Learn what it feels like to revel in joy, pleasure, fun, just for the sake of it. Get your people together. Let's play. What I've been saying, y'all, my little girl, she is my biggest teacher. She has brought me into things I never would have even thought. I have been exposed to other sides of this reality, being practical and realistic at the same time. You know, this is what this card is calling for. It says, there is a reason for everything, and this is yours. If you haven't already received the good news, it is on its way. It is safe to celebrate. You deserve it. Don't question the joy. Do not wait for the other shoe to drop. Rejoice, beautiful soul. You are the moment. This is your time. Positive change is on the way. Expansion, evolution, revolution. Be open to change. This is the greatest season to let go of the past and take a big risk. We're going to ring that in. Take a risk. Take a risk to align to your truth. Take a risk to say, what do I need to do to truly live in my dream now? Not allowing it to just be up here, knowing, oh, it would be lovely if I got to do this. Follow the joy frequency and say, you know what? If I can see it, I can be it, I can have it, and I do. I do. That's that sacral chakra energy. So we're going to tap into our chakra energy just very quickly as we are aligning to the truth and being reminded of the abundance that is available to us in this now reality. We have what it takes. You have what it takes. But are you going to be disciplined enough to know that even if it seems like you're failing, that it is not an option? As nurturing comes out, are you nurturing that dream? That is the end of the aligned framework. Nourishing, nurturing. First, you have to anchor, ground, stabilize. Then you have to liberate, release the old stories, release the old you that has constantly kept you in these cycles of not seeing you clearly, being stuck, and not being able to move to the brightest light. You release it and say, okay, I know for sure. I see myself doing this, being this, having this. And that is a reality. It just has not manifested into your now reality because you're not disciplined enough. You're thinking that it's a failure. You're thinking you don't have enough, what it takes to do it. But the moment you're given the vision, you're given everything that will support you in seeing it come true. But you have to be willing to grow. And that, like that, this card said, evolution, revolution, expansion, consciousness, becoming conscious of what it is that you are truly a channel for, a temple for. Everything you need is within you. But are you going to work it out and allow it to begin to manifest without a doubt? Knowing that you are definitely guided and protected as you walk it out. But you have to nurture yourself. Nurture your little girl. Nurture those old stories of trauma and begin to see where it got you to this place now. So what can you do in that space? How can you allow that wounded warrior energy to shine light in the darkness for others to see? Your story, your testimony is how your dreams will come true. Everything that you overcame is sent to serve you. Woo! Give thanks. We are not the victim here. We are victorious. We are mighty. We are mighty in this work, okay? So number 3 says, hold on. I hit the button and I gotta see. Okay, it says, I am nurturing myself in all aspects of life, and I am open to receive this powerful, loving energy now and always. Understand, I was immediately saw a picture of the family unit, right? In our families, as one of the cards says, we've all had monsters in our family. We've all had those people in our immediate birth families that may not have aligned to the truth of what was best for you or best for me. But it is now time that we begin to break those cycles, in those patterns, by showing up in new families where people are saying, hey sis, I see you. I want to support you. I want to know more about what you're doing. I want to know who you are and how I can support you in doing what you want to do. Because this is a new family that we are creating amongst this me and you. you know? So I thank you. I thank you, thank you, thank you. And I take it not for granted. Those of you who have constantly come into my thread, come into my classrooms, come into my circles and my groups, understand it's not for me to just be the one warrior shining my little light. It's for you to step up and show who you are as well, because we rise together in this accelerated harmony. But it takes me being me and you being you, and us finding how this brings us through to the next stage of our journey, knowing that I got nothing but love for you, baby. And that is the truth. I got nothing but love. And you know where that came from? A lot of pain. It came from a lot of pain, a lot of heartache, a lot of being used and taken advantage of, a lot of stories of martyrism and victimization, a lot of trauma, a lot of things that didn't serve me. But I understand now that I had to go there in order to know what it feels like, so that I can show up in the opposite of it, because nah, that didn't feel good to me. And I'm not going to allow that feeling to keep me in that energy. I'm moving beyond it. I'm speaking the truth on it. And I'm saying, not on my watch. It ends with me. The stories end with me. As it said, our ancestors are waiting for us to be joyful just for the sake of joy. Most of us are not being tormented in our adult life. And if you are, sis, my heart goes out to you. And I am here. And if you need a place, if you need safety, if you need support, if you need something to shake you, I'm here. But you have to want to do the work. No one can do it for you. You have to be open to learning the lessons, knowing that failure is not an option. So if you find yourself in situations, jobs, relationships, partnerships that seem to be failing, a conversation needs to be had. And you should be able to speak your truth. Even if it means losing that relationship, losing that job, losing the partnership, as long as it is aligning to the truth of you. And understand that when one door closes, another one opens. But you have to be brave enough to move in that direction. And I had to do it for myself. I had to finally come to the space where I said, nope. This ain't working, this ain't working, this ain't working, and it doesn't feel good. And when I voiced it and it wasn't received, and it was still pointing fingers back at me, it was like, oh yeah, it's for me to do something about it. I now have to create boundaries for myself to say, girl, you don't need to keep crossing over your boundaries. When things don't feel right and they're not aligned to the truth of you, keep it moving. And allow others to learn what they need to learn in the process. It's not really that you are sent to be the teacher. You only begin to be the teacher when the student is ready. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. And the teacher may look like your fears. The teacher may look like that toxic relationship. Your teacher may look like that boss that is dogging you down. Your teacher may be, your own mother, your own father, your child. Are you learning the lessons? And are you able to speak your truth and begin to get your blessing? Because everything is here to serve, as we've talked about. So the next card we're going to pull is a Moonology card, and then our Goddess Rising. And then we will close out if there's no questions in the chat, okay? So thank you again. Moonology, because after any full moon, new moon cycle, we still are in that energy for about 3 days. So as we are still in this Gemini energy, y'all dealing with it. I know the shadow and the light, the yin and the yang, but it's coming to the surface for you to see it, because now you get to choose differently. as the card turns over here and says, show the world the real you. Come on now. Show the world the real you. And it is a full moon in Aquarius, as I spoke about Aquarius, right? This is the age of Aquarius. We get to show up and show out. And the only person who holds you back is you. We are in this collective consciousness of creation, quickly, rapidly, jumping time zone, quantum leaping. The moment you say no more, the moment you say, how good can it get? The moment you say, this is mine, I see it, it's mine, you get it. This is how you got to show up. Show the world the real you, because we're waiting for you. We're waiting for each and every soul to begin to tap in to their purpose. We're here together. We got to work this out. You know, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling or not. Or not. You can work out your own salvation in joy, in gladness, in happiness, in success, in abundance, in never failing, in growth. Okay? So let's see what this says. Full moon in Aquarius. And that is page number 88. 88, y'all. Those 8s are showing up. And what does that say? As above, so below. This is where we get to have our heaven on earth experience or your hell on earth. Because as above, as we waiting to go somewhere, you know, I can't truly say that that's where you want to be, but it truly is up to you and me to decide. You know, you for you and me for me. So, show the world the real you. It says, this card brings the message of the cosmos that you need to detach a little from whatever situation you're asking about. Someone might be keeping you at arm's length now, but it is up to you to keep, it is up to you, someone might be keeping you at arm's length now, but it's no bad thing, It's important for you to allow life to unfold. Like I said, if it goes, it goes. And let life unfold and progress, even if change seems a little frightening. If you have been holding yourself back from showing the world the real you, this card reminds you that your unique characteristics are what makes you special. In a relationship, are you being too aloof? Are you detached? Go ahead and be yourself in whatever is coming up. Be aware of your feelings, but also be prepared to move on. All right, it goes on. It says, don't lose the beauty. Don't lose the beauty and romance of life. You are too much in your head. Get into your heart. As that one showed up. Get out of your head and into your heart. Okay? It says a friend needs you to be there for them. Truthfully, without the mask. As I said, hey sis, you know, are you really good? Are you good for real? Sisters are going to tell you that. And they're going to ask you how you feel. And it's no judgment. It's just a reflection so that you can truly begin to see yourself in your truest, highest vibration. A situation is going to take a very unexpected turn. Okay? This is what this card is telling us. You got to show up as your truth and know that an unexpected turn will show up. But understand this. as I said, everything is always working for you. So that unexpected turn is going to be something that is needed for your growth, for your evolution, for your expansion. The teaching, give thanks. The teaching here says, every full moon is a time to release and let go. But the addition of Aquarian energy to the addition of Aquarian energy to the mix triples the message. Aquarius is the opposite of clinging and pulling. Pulling this card at this time suggests a need for you to let go, or someone is thinking they are the ones who needs to be let go. Perhaps it is you. What needs to go? What is the right thing to do? Whatever happens next could be highly unconventional or unexpected. So the moment you show up, things will look a lot different. But it's for your good. So you have to begin to be disciplined in holding the vibration of what you see. And moving, when blinded by the unknown, you move towards your brightest light. Okay? So this is what it's telling us. And as we move toward our brightest light, those unexpected things are the things that we have been lacking. It's the abundance that we'll see. It's the growth that we'll see. The last card we're going to pull is from our Goddess Rising energy. All right. One Goddess Rising card, again by Abiola Abrams. I haven't pulled from this deck, but because the Goddess Circle showed up, I'm going to honor them and see which one of these goddesses is wanting us to get a clear message today on this balancing of this energy to live aligned and crowned. All right. The last card of the day is Ma'at. You can't make it up, y'all. Ma'at. Ma'at is that love for self. It is also the giving and receiving, bringing balance and harmony into our situations, into our lives like none other. This Ma'at is the same as Chariot energy, okay? Balancing that shadow and the light of yourself, taking your seat on your throne and not settling for less. Let's go into the book and see what this giving and receiving, again, number 10 energy. So that's matching these goddesses, endings and beginnings. We are ready for the change, y'all. It's time to make that change. We are the people who can do it. All right? So Ma'at, giving and receiving. This is where the magic happens. This is where it happens. It says, reset your harmonic balance. You are out of alignment. The sacred scales command you to give and receive. If you receive without giving, you are selfish and out of alignment. If you give without if you receive without giving, you are selfish and out of alignment. If you give without receiving, you are stuck in martyrism and out of alignment. So there must be that as above, so below, allowing the energy to flow. The embodiment says, giving and receiving is spiritual law and spell work. Give time, money, service, resources, and good vibes. Y'all, we can't make this up today. Good vibes only, I say. Okay? If you are a generous giver, cultivate a practice of receiving. Receiving is a sacred feminine principle that makes many uncomfortable. Receive compliments, joy, support, pleasure, friendships, money, and love. They are all the same spirit. Wasn't that what we was talking about? The affirmation is, I give easily and freely. I receive easily and freely. So this is how we gonna work with this energy, y'all. Understanding that we are all divine reflections. What you give is what you receive. And it should be a continuity of giving and receiving. And it doesn't always have to be tangible things. Joy, can you hold it? But you can feel it. Happiness, you can't hold it, but you can feel it. This is that exchange that we have to work in every day. Understanding you are the vision, you are the power, you are the dream come true. What happens next depends on you. Until next time, I am your host, Chantel Sierra Tisha Kim, your holistic soul guide and your good friend. All right? So until next time, sending you peace and love. Good night.